Mr. Khalid Alghamdi, pleasure to have you today.
Thank you.
Hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
So, question for you. How has the success of Saudi's equity capital markets translated into the success for the national economy? And what can be done to enhance that further?
Great. First of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here today. I'm extremely privileged. Our national economy has undergone and continues to undergo significant change since the introduction of the National Transformation Program, and so has our equity market. For example, and thanks primarily to Saudi Aramco, our market capitalization has increased from 450 billion US dollars at the end of 2015 to 3 trillion US dollars as at the end of 2023. We are now the 11th largest stock market in the world, according to the World Federation of Exchanges, up 10 positions from our ranking at the end of 2015. There are some dynamics that are worth noting just for the sake of context. For example, companies raised a total of 21 billion US dollars between 2016 to 2023, excluding, of course, Aramco. And this is equivalent to what was raised in the 8-year period prior to NTP. But what's really interesting is that the average size of IPOs post NTP has increased to $450 million from $367 million, indicating an enhancement in the quality and profitability of the companies currently coming to market. Here's the important part, and I really think we need to pay careful attention to this. Although the amount of funds raised over the two 8-year periods are nearly the same, at around $21 to $22 billion, the use of these proceeds have been very different. Between 2008 and 2015, 53% of the funds raised through IPOs were reinvested back into the companies, while 47% went back to the selling shareholders. Conversely, between 2016 and 2023, only 15% of the funds raised were reinvested back into companies, and a very significant 85% were pocketed by selling shareholders. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And in some situations where the company is well capitalized, it's probably recommended. The point that I'm trying to make here is that ideally, proceeds should be used for expanding business lines, creating jobs, developing infrastructure, driving growth, generating tax revenues, maximizing shareholder value, etc., all of which have an impact and help all of which have an impact on the national economy and help the kingdom achieve its aspirations. Ultimately, I believe that an incentivization framework should be developed to encourage companies coming to market to retain IPO proceeds and invest them into growth opportunities. Let me just underline this with one final example, if I may. The Numu market has been around since 2017. Total offerings of 61, total direct listings of 28. 77% of the funds raised through the Numu market were basically cash outs by the company's shareholders, while the remaining 23% of proceeds were reinjected back into the company. I do not think that the Numu market should be used as a cash dispenser for SME shareholders, but rather as a venue to allow these smaller companies to grow. As the Numu market name suggests, Numu, growth. It shouldn't be about funding lifestyles, but about funding growth. If a founder of a startup or an SME entered the offices of any VC or private investor anywhere in the world, they would be shown the door if they suggested they'd be cashing out a portion of their shares. Cash outs should be prohibited on Numu, or at the very least, subject to certain conditions.